Okay. Hey guys, so my name is Vijay Vade. I'm a lean agile coach trainer. I added lean because coach is becoming common these days. So everyone says agile coach, so I add lean because I foray not only agile practice but lean, Kanban, and any practices that is sensible in today's world or that makes sense. I'm founder of member of APJ Agile Practitioners Group of India, Green Computer Foundation and Agile Waters Consulting. So I'm one of the guy in it. So got years of developer, and then went on to put the hat of many of the uh, you know the project, the product owner, the Scrum Master, and many. I have multiple certifications. I would not like to speak about it. As published certain white papers, especially on the productivity, improving productivity with agile or lean practices, and that are published globally in international conferences. So, and trained quite a few people, like Sony, Siemens, BNY Mellon, and not to discuss about it much. I'm amateur marathoner, 42 kilometers I run. Photographer. These are my hobbies. So that's my email ID and phone number. You can reach to me on WhatsApp. So if you have any more questions after this particular session. I would like to welcome you all first to this particular session, especially on a holiday like that's Independence Day, and you should be lying on your bed and especially enjoying with your families. But still, I respect your time here. So let's understand all and let's manifesto mean. I think somebody says that it's the guideline or certain protocols. So if I go to dictionary, the basic meaning, I also put it in Hindi or and English. People might be understanding the Hindi English. So it says the declaration, the placard that shows details, the charter, the manifest. It's a mouthpiece who speaks for you. It's an organ or manifesto. If I speak in Hindi, if understand it, it's Ghoshana Patra. Uh, or if I say in election, every election when it actually starts before the voting, the political parties declare what are they are going to provide you for next 5 years or 6 years if we get into government. So that a declaration everyone. So everyone must or should know. Uh, yeah, also called as Ailan Nama in Hindi. And what is agile? And nowadays, so many WhatsApp jokes are floating in from the dictionary meaning of agile. So if I take some of it, so it means agile, skittish, perky, dexterous. Dexterous means, who can work with both the hands, playful, capricious, fitful, which fits into given situation. Monkish. That should be a really funny definition of it. Monkish in the sense you can jump from one tree to another tree based on the situation, based on your likings, based on, if somebody makes you move from here to there. Vigilant. Vigilant means you're aware of the situation. You're also ready to change your stance. You're active, you're prepared, you're provided with multiple solutions. Yeah. So this is what is basic meaning of agile. So what is an agile manifesto? Agile manifesto is certain practices, principles, or values that make someone or a group of people agile, and a manifesto in the sense that is declared somewhere. Some of the guidelines or practices, those are declared somewhere. So this is agile manifesto in principle. So way back, I would not tell you the date here. Earlier, we used to follow that. Someone here is still following non-agile practices. So in that case, so what used to happen earlier? We used to follow process, or we call it as rituals, over the individuals and interactions. So more and more times, the documents were having, or the guided procedures, having more importance over the spirit of humanity, talking to each other, individuals and interactions. Comprehensive documentation, that's what I said, and over the working software. So if we are discussing about IT, then I would say working software, but in non-IT industry, anything that is an outcome. So we were giving more importance to comprehensive documents than this. Contract negotiation between the customer and the vendor partner relationship. So here we are having too much of focus negotiation than the collaboration between the customer and the person who is actually delivering, or the team who is delivering. Following a plan, whatever plan you made, over responding to change. So we were giving more importance to following a plan than responding to change. Yeah. So for an example, if there is a protocol that needs to be followed in your company, and all of a sudden the fire breaks out. When fire breaks out, what will happen? Will you think of the rules and regulations? You would basically run for your life. So responding to change, if the situation is changing, you should change. Following a plan may not be beneficial in the given situations. Yeah? So you should have certain small guidelines rather than typical protocols. So that's what was the situation. So we were following rituals over the spirit. Yeah, in the earlier project or product scenarios. So that's how, what happened. Certain individuals, a set of individuals came together and said, I think we think we need to change the situation. Before going into this, whoever people are here, I would like to have a question to all of you, a question in the sense. So I have one I will share with you guys. So what first came into existence? So I'm giving a link in this chat. So I'm putting for all of you. So please go on to this link and you have to vote. You don't have to log in, just have to go here and vote. There are certain options. The question is, what came first? Scrum, XP, Extreme Programming. Some of the people may not know, so you have to vote. Are you able to see that?
It's saying the quiz is not open.
Quiz is not open. Okay, so let me present it. Is it open now?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic.
So it is a quiz.
Mm-hmm.
And it says get ready to play, but okay, I think now it will get started.
There's only one question for now, right?
Yes, there's only one question now. Okay, time's up. Oh yes. So some of the people, 3 people are saying Agile came first. Then some people say Scrum came first. 3 people says Extreme Programming came first. And rest of the people, I think people could not answer. So very good, good diversity. So XP, Scrum and Agile. So let's see. Yeah, anybody who said Scrum came first? Yeah, please raise your hand. Hello? Yeah, speak out. What is your opinion? Why do you say that Scrum came first and Agile came later, or XP came later?
The names were given later. So the Scrum came first,
Hmm?
what I know. So I put it.
Scrum came first around 92, 93 time in Uppsala conference. It was presented.
Mhm.
Later, I remember not Uppsala. It is a new product development game from which was first reference of Scrum.
Mhm.
And by from Japanese Toyota group, and then
Okay,
in
Nonaka.
2001 only Agile came, where 17 people joined together and to develop the manifesto and a name from their experience of Scrum and various other implementation.
Very good. Thank you so much. I think that makes yeah, that's the history of it. Thank you so much, Vijay, for bringing in that. Yes, you're right. So all these 17 individuals, what we said, there are the problems, we need to solve it. So finding solutions, all these people came together at one place called in February 2001 at the lodge in Snowbird, Utah resort. So all these 17 thinkers, who were they? They were already having certain lightweight frameworks or methodologies who gives solution on typical waterfallish or earlier long-term project solutions wherein that was not making sense for IT divisions or IT projects. Because IT projects, the requirement keeps changing. The marketplace keeps changing. And this is a really, really complex word wherein you cannot behave like a manufacturing solution. So all these people came together. They were already having some lightweight frameworks to their names. What those frameworks? Let's discuss it on change the situation. We should, so they were already having their own frameworks like Scrum, like XP. So what these frameworks were doing, they were already making it lightweight. The development was made lightweight, wherein we would give more importance to the spirits over the rituals. So what were they doing? Let's focus more on individual and interactions over process, working software over the comprehensive documentation, customer collaboration over contract negotiation, and responding to change over following a plan. Does that mean the things on the right side are not important? Yes, it is important, but we give more focus to the spirits on the left side, things on the left side, rather than giving too much focus or only focus on the rituals. Yes, rituals are important, but spirit is more important. That's what was called as Agile Manifesto. So these are all the 4 values of Agile Manifesto. This is one of the document by Andy Hunt. This was actually written there in that discussion amongst these 17 people. So there are so many documents, the artifacts created by those individuals, which are already available on internet. You can actually find out. So who came together? All these people, the rapid application development, which came in 1991, RAD, unified process or RUP, rational unified process, or dynamic systems development, all these people came together. Scrum from 1995. So here is the answer that you will get maybe. So Scrum, extreme programming came into existence in 1996. Crystal Clear came into 6. Feature driven development in 1997. So even before Agile Manifesto came into picture, these frameworks were already into existence. These methods were already into existence. So they made an umbrella called as Agile Manifesto, and that Agile umbrella came later after these practices. After that Agile Manifesto came into picture, all this collectively referred as the Agile software development methods. All these methods are called as Agile software development method because it was the guidance, all these 4 values were the guidance. Along with it, it also came out with certain principles. So the very first principle, what was happening earlier? Typically, we were running into projects. Projects were typically 6 months or 1 year or 2 year long. So what used to happen? There was a set of requirements in the beginning, and at the end, there was a delivery to end customer, and customer was happy. Many times not happy because you were getting certain defects, and then you used to go back and then fix it, and projects used to get delayed. So this is what the situation earlier. Where this actually process came from, I mean, a project, the requirement, and at the end, it is given to customer. Where it is actually coming from? Can anybody answer in the room? Requirements first, final requirements, and at the end of year or something, the product is delivered to customer. Where it is coming from? This knowledge, because software was new. to industry.
Waterfall, right? Like you're asking for the methodology?
Yeah, exactly. Waterfall or manufacturing, you can say, or a production environment wherein customer says, I won't come to you every often. These are the requirements of mine. I won't change my requirement. And yes, at the end of the time, I have, you give me in a project, you give me scope. This is the scope I'm defining. You give me a schedule when you're going to deliver it to me, and what is the time or cost that would be incurred, so that we need to agree on cost and time. So at the end of this project, I would come and say, give me my product because I have given you money. So this is what is happening. So the first principle of Agile, what they came out with, the highest priority is to satisfy the customer through early and continuous delivery of valuable software. Yeah. So what was happening earlier? If we say software, the development used to start after the project kickoff and the release date, and the customer used to get the delivery of the product and used to get happy, sometimes unhappy. Yeah. Okay. But what it is saying, the first principle, our highest priority is to satisfy customer through early and continuous delivery. So what it is asking, it is saying, do not deliver it at the end, but deliver it in small chunks. Simple, right? If you are doing this, you are following the first principle. So you should be giving some delivery to customer where customer can enjoy that small chunk of the product. It means it is asking you to break your long project into small projects. Yeah. Long projects into small projects of deliveries. It means you are delivering at the end of every small project. So now the development start date and release date is gone off the track, and small projects are coming in from this particular principle. If I say, if you have any objections or questions, you can ask me anytime. Okay, so this is what first principle says. Then second principle, what it says, welcome changing requirement even late in development. Agile process harness change for the customer's competitive advantage, because the market is changing. Competitors are bringing out the new functionalities, so you'll have to change. So what you have to do, welcome changing requirements even late in development. In the sense, what is it saying is, every small project can have a new or different set of requirements or updated set of requirements. So what it is saying, upfront requirement finalization is not making sense, but every small project you may expect a new set of requirement or updated set of requirement. Okay, if your projects or your teams are doing this, yes, you are following the second principle. Okay, why it is given so? Because customer is having a different complex situation in the market, that because of the situation, because of the dynamics of the market, because of the competitors, the requirements might change, and this is more advantageous to give customer an advantage. Yes, we are ready for the changes, but after certain duration, maybe a small project. So customer is also happy. So what is third principle saying? Deliver working software frequently from a couple of weeks to a couple of months, with a preference to a shorter time scale. And what is the time scale? I don't know, but that may be typically a week or 2 weeks to couple of months, maybe 2 months or 3 months. Yeah. Now people with Scrum might have certain question. Okay, why more than a month? But this is what Agile methodology or Agile framework or Agile principle says. What it says, all the frameworks or methods who are following this should be following this couple of weeks to couple of months. Okay, so now if you are following couple of months as a delivery cycle or a small project, maybe Scrum might say that yes, then you are not doing Scrum, but are you Agile? Yes, you are Agile, because it says couple of weeks to couple of months. Yeah, now it says there's a duration, couple of weeks to couple of months. And then fourth principle says, what it says, business people and developers must work together daily throughout the project. Does that give you any specification? No. But the business people who are giving you business requirement, and the people who are delivering, typically developers, testers, or whoever is doing work on this, should be talking, discussing maybe every day, if possible, if required, kind of. So if your business people are available for you, if your developers or team members are talking to business people, if it is happening, yes, then you are following agile principle number 4. Yeah. Okay, I think I missed the 5th one. I'll also go to that. The 6th principle, the most efficient and effective method of conveying information is within the development team, the people, is face-to-face conversation. So if you are having face-to-face conversation amongst your team members, it means you are following principle number 6. Yeah. If you are doing that, are you agile? Yes, you are agile. 7th, working software is the primary measure of progress. There's no measure like what is your code review yield or how many number of lines of code that you are developing every day. Is that agile? No. But what is more agile? The working software is the primary progress, because what customer wants is the chunk of software or a functionality that makes sense to him or her that they can use. So that is the measure of progress, not these matrices that you usually track inside your teams. Yeah. 8th principle says agile processes promote sustainable development. The sponsors, developers, and users should be able to maintain a constant pace indefinitely. Constant pace indefinitely means it should be sustainable pace. In the sense, every delivery duration, you should be giving something which you can replicate the next time, that similar kind of or similar size you can deliver the next iteration of delivery. If you are doing that, are you agile? Yes, you are agile. Any questions till now until this principle number 8?
Now, on the Vijay, on the 6th principle, we talk about the face-to-face. We talked about the most efficient and effective method, right? So even not just within development team, but that's what I would like to highlight, that this one is for everyone. Even if you are talking to someone outside the team, then it makes sense, or the efficient and effective method would be the face-to-face conversion. This is ideal.
Yes,
Rather than going into email and talk to them multiple to and fro, and then when you write an email, then probably the other person won't understand it completely.
exactly.
Body language and everything is missing.
Yes,
Why too many to and fro? So even for everyone, that's my experience at the best. This is a very important principle for everyone in the office or in the project.
yeah, fantastic. That's a very good conversation that we had, and I mean that's a very good depiction of this particular principle number 6. So now in a pandemic situation, how can we have face-to-face conversation?
We are having it right now.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. We are having it right now. Face-to-face conversation. But if I do not see your face, is that a face-to-face conversation?
I would say not 100%.
Yeah.
So what we have done, Vijay, that the daily stand-ups, right? That is also happening over Zoom. So at least once in a week,
Yeah.
Monday or Friday, everybody will keep their camera on.
Mm-hmm.
At least once in a retrospective, 100%, everybody will keep their camera on. But
Yes.
at least once in a week, there's another opportunity to see the people, how they are doing. And then what I have observed is more fun, more jokes are cracked during the face-to-face conversation. Otherwise, normally it goes just like that.
Now, question to all of you: why face-to-face conversation?
You can see the emotions
Emotions, okay.
and the the priority of the work also, like how excited he is and how critical that work is.
Okay. Very good. So that's a way of feedback, right? So one of the principles said interactions, right? Individuals and interactions are more important. So how do we do individuals and interactions? Is by face-to-face communication, by looking at each other, by bringing in those emotions, that's how individuals and interactions are more important. So that's how face-to-face communication is more important. Yeah. So thank you, Rahul, for bringing in that. We discussed about the working software, because all the other the matrices or the measurements that you're measuring is useless for customer. Customer would say that, yes, keep it up to you. What I want is the product. Okay, if you give me a product and that is useful, I can use it. That's more important. That's the more important thing for me. Principle number 8 is agile processes promote sustainable development. Okay. The sponsor, developers, and users should be able to maintain a constant pace indefinitely. So if the project, a bigger project, is broken into smaller chunks, what used to happen in earlier times, when I was working into Waterfall, if the project is starting in January and ending towards the December, generally my project manager, if I ask him for a leave for 10 days or something like that at the start of the project, generally I used to get it. But at the fag end of the project, if I go and ask my project manager, hey, project manager, I need holidays, he says, no, only after this project is over, because the tensions, the delivery tensions generally goes on rise at the end of the projects, maybe towards fag end of the year, maybe October, November, and December. And most of the times this project is to get delayed. So that's why all these small iterations or small projects that we have developed now, you should be working constantly with a sustainable pace, so that people are more interested towards those projects, and every time a customer gets a sustainable delivery. That's what this particular principle says. Now, principle number 9, continuous attention to technical excellence and good design is more important here, or enhances agility. Why so? Continuous attention. It means every small project you should be looking for the technical excellence and good design. Why should we look into good design and technical excellence? How does that help? Yes, Nikhil.
Yeah, so basically, like if you don't use the good techniques or like latest technology, or maybe like we can say like it will increase the technical depth basically. And once the technical depth will get increased, it will cost your project. And it's again you have to do the rework also.
Oh yeah, exactly. So nowadays most of the husbands are washing dishes, right? In this room, yeah. Abhilash, you must be also hearing, Abhilash and Gopi, if you're married or if you're washing your dishes. What happens if you don't wash dishes for a day? What happens? Nikhil, what happens?
It will pile up.
It will pile up. What happens next tomorrow?
I have to do extra work.
Extra work. What happens to your mental?
Okay, I got your point. Then you'll get a shout from your wife. That's what you're looking for, I guess.
Is one thing. Let us think about you and me. What will happen next? Looking at the pile, it would take more time because the utensils would be more dirtier now, more sticky now. This also same thing happens to your technical debt. Once you pile up more and more defects, fixing and solving defects would take more time rather than delivering a new features. So we should be taking care of this, technical excellence and your code, so that it really doesn't become too heavy for you to maintain later on. So that's what it says. It's a technical excellence. The 10th principle, it says simplicity, the art of maximizing the amount of work not done is essential. It's not so simple English to understand it here. What it says is, out of the 100% requirements in this world that customer gives you, majority of the times, very few requirements from the statistics, it says only 13% of the requirements are generally, or the functionalities are used by customer. About 43% of the requirements are rarely used, or functionalities rarely used. And remaining about 40% is never used. So what we should focus on, we should say no to most of the things. Is this really important here? Also, your team member should be able to say that, hey, is that really important right now? So say 83% of the time, or 83% of the times you should be, or 87% of the times you should be saying, no, I think this is not important. If it is really important, give us a logic that this particular requirement is important. So majority of the times, you should be saying no to development of certain non-important features or requirements. This is what it says. Yeah. So that is essential. If that is, that happens, what will you do? You will deliver more important features earlier than less important features, so that your customer, say after 3 months, says, I think I'm really happy with it. let's stop this particular product development. So that would be a return on investment, right? You have delivered more important features than less important features. So this is what it principle says. The 11th one, the best architectures and requirements and design emerges from self-organizing teams. So it gives more importance to self-organizing teams. What is self-organizing teams? If I ask Girish, Vikram, Vivo, Wilson, Abhinash, what is self-organizing? Anybody?
So, Vijay, am I audible?
Yes, Girish, you're audible.
Yeah. So, Vijay, so self-organizing means the team can take their own decision. They no need to rely on others. So they are
Very
independently they can take, and that decision should be respected by all the team members.
exactly. So thank you so much for Girish for that. So we cannot give every decision to them, but some decisions wherein they are working, so that is their primary area of expertise. If you give them that independence, okay, that so they are not dependent on those decisions to be made by others, so process would be faster, things would move faster. So that's what it says. And also architectural decisions or design decisions, since people are working on it, so architecture generally evolves. So if people take that decisions, so that would be more faster. Even software evolves in such a way, because you cannot have a high-end upfront architecture that will never change. You can't say that. In softwares, it keeps on changing after implementation of certain requirement. So that's what we say. People, if they collaborate and come together, that would be really better development of a good software, because architecture is not standard. It keeps on changing. Design keeps on changing. Yeah, that's what is our findings. Yeah. And the 12th one, at regular intervals, the team reflects on how to become more effective or efficient, then tunes and adjusts its behavior accordingly. So in the sense, how we were behaving as team members, together. So I show it here. So all people, the team members coming together and discussing about it. So how well were our interactions, the behavior? You helped me, I helped you. Sometimes you didn't help me. So was that behavior or interaction really good for us? No, maybe. So there's a typical a team huddle that we actually do and discuss about, that you must have seen in your cricket world. When cricket something happens, so somebody takes the timeout. Yeah, we want to huddle and discuss about. So until 15th over, I think our progress was not so good. So let's come together, understand what has happened. Let's increase our run rate, or let's attack now. So that's our new strategy. So how to change the strategy, what's working and what's not working. So these team members should come together and they should do it. Yeah. When or where, at the start, in between, how many times, it's not defined here. Okay. So you can call it retrospect, introspect, any name that you can give is, at regular intervals. So Scrum might say that you should be retrospecting, but this is what it means, at regular intervals. What is the interval? Not spoken, but at least once in that particular project environment, you should come together and discuss about it. Now, my question to all of you is, if this is happening, all these 12 principles, can you make your own framework with this information? With this limited information you have on your screen, what is the information? You should make a small project. You should deliver at the end of every small project to customer. Customer should get value out of it. Okay. The requirement should be able to change or update at the start of every small project or a duration or iteration. You should be discussing all together, the business people and the development team, discuss together, have a technical excellence during each iteration, and retrospect or introspect or come together and discuss about how our behavior or interactions or processes are working and how we should actually move on, what we should change. And this iteration, the small iteration, should be couple of weeks to couple of months. Now, if you have this information, can you implement it this way and make your own framework is my question. And can you call it agile framework? Yes, Rahul.
Yeah, so yeah, certainly. So this one is more of a principles, right? So now I understand that there can be multiple methods, right? I can devise
Mm-hmm.
based on Scrum might be one of them. The Kanban is one of them. That's why they are multiple, which follows the same principle, all these 12 principles in some or other way.
Exactly.
That's why there are multiple frameworks.
Can you name any framework which came out of any company uh, that now they can say that we are agile framework?
Spotify.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So Spotify is one of the example of it. Yes, Nikhil, you were saying something?
No, I just mentioned Spotify only.
Yeah, very good. So can Nikhil form his own agile framework,
Definitely.
NISA framework with these principles? Maybe you can say your iteration duration is 1.5 months. Does agile stop you? No, it doesn't stop you. Yeah. So when we discuss all these 12 principles here, so that gives you a lot of freedom. Did we speak about any roles here? Not really. So can you define your own roles? Yes, maybe. Can you go ahead with your own roles inside your company? Yes. So if they follow these principles and the delivery of the software or any product happens iteratively and incrementally at certain small duration, having focus towards the smallest iteration or smallest duration wherein you give delivery to end customer, that would be a typical agile environment or agile framework. Yeah. Can you define your own roles? Yes, we discussed about our own role. Do we have something called as daily scrums here or daily meetings here? No. So that when we say scrum, that specially says that's a scrum innovation that every day you should meet and discuss about what's going on. And that's what is, do they follow all these 12 principles? Yes, they follow all these 12 principles and hence they can be called as scrum as agile framework. Spotify is also an agile framework. Yeah. Any more questions? Hey, with that you should be delivering to customer more often, more quickly. You should be delivering the product, not the documents or the measurements. Working product. Business people and the teams who are delivering this particular software or product should have daily interactions amongst them, so that will help you reduce the documentation and more of interactions. So they should retrospect or they should inspect what was the process in the last iteration or some duration, so that we can change and have continuous improvement. Technical excellence is more focus every iteration or a small project duration. So this is what is the basic requirement of any agile framework. Even in Scrum, Jeff Sutherland has written or in that Scrum guide that it says a sprint, which is a small duration project. You can call it as a project because a small sprint has what? It has a scope. It has a sprint goal. What it has is as a duration, a fixed duration. What else it has? Does it have a cost? It may not have a direct cost attached to it, but number of people working into that particular sprint itself defines a cost. And that's why it can also be called as a small project. Yeah. So if at all you are following all these principles, then you are following Agile Manifesto. That's what was the basic meaning of it. And I hope I could convey it in simple words. Any more questions, team?
Vijay, one question. There was one of the principles says that we should maintain the pace indefinitely. Right?
Indefinitely, yes.
So for every 2 weeks, we have a demo, sprint planning and other stuff. So some of my colleagues were complaining as well that the burnout is too high, actually.
Yeah.
Because and then we want to maintain that pace indefinitely.
Yes.
So that is a bit difficult to manage both the stuff.
Exactly.
What is your experience?
True. So there are two principles that's what is sustainable pace. It says a word called sustainable pace, right?
Earlier principle it was, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And somewhere it also says about the ownership culture, not very directly, but the ownership culture. People should be able to make their own decisions. People who are developing, if they are able to make their own decisions in a way, they would be able to tell how much we can do sustainably. So if you give that ownership to your teams, that would be sustainable pace. Now Scrum and other frameworks, now they have come out with, or extreme programming have come out with something called as velocity. So that's their derivation. So you should be working out with the same velocity for longer duration. So whatever performance or the past performance you have given in the last iteration of the same duration, you should be able to give that much. Yeah, it also says about how to improve your productivity or performance is by technical excellence. If you maintain your technical excellence well, you would be able to make or have your performance well, improved every time. So continuous improvement is also kind of, prime importance here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for that only we normally go for the average velocity, right? We don't use the one sprint velocity and we continue to deliver on that. So we use multiple velocity, we divide by the number of sprint we have delivered that, and that will be your capacity or the velocity for the upcoming sprint basically.
Very good.
So that's what I always average it out.
Yeah. Many times what happens, a project which starts with a typical, product delivery, after a certain duration, it goes into typical maintenance plus delivery phase, delivery of features phase. In those cases, there are some people ask, like, do we really size the defects so that we can say that sustainable delivery? Yeah, you can size defects. This is, Agile has nothing to say about it. So whatever measurements you are taking is for your convenience. What way you are measuring your delivery is up to you. So sustainable pace is wherein your customer is also happy, you are also happy. So that's a balance between you and the customer side of it. Yeah, but ownership culture is very much important here. And business people and delivery people talking to each other and having conversation, that is more important here. So very good question, Rahul. Does that answer your question?
Yes, I think we have to look from all the principles. The answers are within, as you mentioned.
Exactly, but it's really difficult for the industry. Why it is difficult, these agile principles, and why they look for some of the questions, because earlier methodologies or processes were very prescriptive. There was an answer for every question in those processes. However, what agile is just 12 set of principles. And that becomes really difficult. Now everyone has to think about and come out with some certain answers. And nobody generally wants that. And that's why people generally want more prescriptive methods, because we are habitual of that. And hence, people go for certain frameworks which are more prescriptive. I would not like to name any of the frameworks which are more prescriptive, but do look for these 12 principles. If they're following it, you are agile. Agility also gives you freedom to make your own frameworks. There are many ways, like organizational agility and business agility. Is that different? Yes, by the theme of it, how the organization is functioning, how the business is functioning. But are those 12 principles implemented? If those are implemented, yes, that is business agility or organizational agility or team agility. Yeah. However, the theme might change, but the principles remain same. Some of the principles might be on a higher side, some of the principles maybe on the lower side. But that's how, if you are following all those 12 principles, then it can be called as you are following agile manifesto, or you are agile. Say agile is not a noun. It's a verb in dictionary meaning, but nowadays it has become a noun actually. So am I agile or are you agile? No. Are you following agile practices? That would be the right way of saying it. Yeah. Or are you agile? Yes, I'm agile enough. Yeah. So yes, that's what was the basic scope of today's conversation. If anybody have any questions, or
Yeah, we just to add on what you just mentioned, right? So it's like we have that like being agile and doing agile, right? So
Yeah.
just following the ceremony is like a doing agile, but making sure like you use these 12 principles in your project to get the delivery. That is actually the being agile and not a doing agile.
So doing agile says whatever is written on your frameworks, like you should do
Correct.
stand up, you should do a retrospective at this given time, you should have a sprint planning of this much time. If you are following those rituals or those rules, yes, you are doing agile. But are you being agile? What does being agile says? You should be continually improving, day by day or iteration by iteration. If you are improving, then yes, you are being agile. Are you doing conversation every day with your business people? Are you making value to your end customers every day, every iteration, or every small project? Yes. Then you are being agile. Your behavior is agile enough and not just the ritual enough. So can your agile practices change? Practices, I am saying. Yes, practices may change, but principle would remain same. Yes, I think, yeah, let me see if there is any question. Yeah, I don't see any question. So,
So, Vijay, what was the principal 5?
okay, very good. What is the principle 5?
I guess we missed that.
Yes, I missed that. Thank you so much for bringing in. So,
I think it is there in the slide, Vijay.
yeah, it's there in the slide. But so I'm telling you, how do I find Agile Manifesto? So even beyond this particular presentation, if you go into agilemanifesto.org, there are 4 values and 12 principles mentioned. So if you go into this particular slide, site, this is what is the 12 principles. You can also go here and, there are, in multiple languages, you can see it. You can see this particular thing in Hindi, you can see in Sanskrit, you can see in Italian, multiple languages that you can actually convert it into. So the 5th principle, build project around motivated individuals, give them the environment and support they need and trust them to get the job done. So this was the missing link when Rahul asked. So since we are giving a lot of ownership to people, we also need certain motivated individuals. If people are not motivated enough to do their work, so this might be not a good proposition to have because earlier situations, what we were handling is we were having people who were leading and who were actually giving the instructions to people. But in this new scenario, we are just telling people that people who are working, they should have ownership. So in this case, if we need people who have ownership, they should also be motivated to work, and the job of the leaders is to keep them motivated. That's it. So if they are motivated enough, they would do more work than in the scenario of instructions. So that's what it says. Vilash, did I answer your question?
Yes, Vijay.
So I will also put this link into the chat room so that you can have access to Agile Manifesto. You can also convert it into your own languages. There are multiple hundreds of languages, I believe. This is available with the questions, and this is what was so basic intention of this particular today's session was to convey you that you shouldn't really fix upon any of the methods or methodology. If you want to implement or be really agile, so focus on this. So what a Scrum Master would think about, if I am doing any event, am I agile or is my team agile? So whenever you have this question, go to these 12 principles. So which is the principle that I'm violating? See for that and how I can implement, or see for agile coaching, coach people. Look at those principles and say the intensity of implementation into your projects or Scrum or sprints or any small project teams that you are delivering something. Look at those principles. Can you make your own framework out of this? This is what we answered, that yes, you can make the framework out of it. Can you make your own maturity framework? Maybe yes. see those principles, which principles you are really implementing 100% and which principles you are not implementing maybe 100%. So see that you are mature on those principles, and the maturity is less on certain principles. So let's try and focus upon those principles and how we can actually improve it. So there are multiple practices in this world and also available over internet. So find your own practice and make sure those principles are implemented well in your practice, and that's how we can become more agile. So not all the only frameworks would give you answer, but Agile Manifesto principles, if it's implemented well, that would give you the real answer whether your team is doing agile or being agile. And that's what was the message I wanted to convey. I hope I was simple enough. My talk was simple enough that you could understand and I could answer your questions. So yeah, I would say thank you so much for joining this session, and I hope I could make certain difference